Good morning, Hi-Crest fam, and this is your Jumpstart for Wednesday, February the 3rd. Today our focal passage is Acts 2, 1 through 13, and I want to get into it. Here's what it says. It says, on the day of Pentecost, all the believers were meeting together in one place. Suddenly there was a sound from heaven like a roaring of a mighty windstorm, and it filled the house where they were sitting. Then what looked like flames or tongues of fire appeared and settled on each of them. And everyone present was filled with the Holy Spirit and began speaking in other languages as the Holy Spirit gave them this ability. At that time, there were devout Jews from every nation living in Jerusalem. When they heard the loud noise, everyone came running, and they were bewildered to hear their own languages being spoken by the believers. They were completely amazed. How can this be? They exclaimed. And then I'm going to jump down here to verse 11, where it says this, and we all hear these people speaking in our own languages about the wonderful things God has done. They stood there amazed and perplexed. What can this mean? They asked each other, but the others in the crowd ridiculed them, saying, they're just drunk, that's all. It's amazing that so often we study this passage or we read this passage and we celebrate the gift and overlook the purpose of the gift. The gift of tongues, the ability to speak in different languages, came where God used this group of people who were very much alike to reach those that were not alike, to allow them to communicate, to listen to one another, to hear one another. What? Why? So that they could hear about the wonderful things that God has done. So often in our churches, in our society, diversity can be viewed as a bad thing. It can be viewed as a burden. The communicating in ways that others can understand can be viewed as a task that we just don't want to take on. That's too much. But we see here at the beginning of the church, God saw enough purpose in giving us the ability to communicate with those that are not like us, so that those not like us can hear about the goodness and wonderful things of God. As you take time today, think about your expressions and your times of gathering with the body. How intentional are you in looking at how you can communicate in ways that draw in others, that communicate in ways that others can hear? Whether it be not just in the particular language, but in the forms of worship that you include in your gatherings. Think about that even as you meet as a small group or a community group, whatever you may have. How are you diversifying the ways that you tell others about the goodness of God, the wonderful things that He's done? Continue to power up, pour in, and spill out. Have a great day.